Alright, so I've got this design here that I want to now export to an SVG file. And so, as you can see, this is a simple little stem sign that I made. And so I want to get this to the laser cutter, and I want to be able to then put it into the program that will allow me to get it laser cut. So if you take a look at this, it's basically, let me just zoom in a little bit to show you. If you look carefully, you'll see that this is just a stencil, basically. I made a stencil. If you look at the inner part of this, right, it's like a 3 mm thickness, and I cut out the letters STEM, and I want to get this into my design. So here's the front of that, and in order to do this, I need to get an actual add-on. So if you go to the window here, you'll see here, if I click on this, I get out of this toolbar thing. Let's go to solid. So in the solid environment, you're normally used to seeing these different icons. But when you move over then to tools, there's actually another set of icons that help you to get this thing, this design made into what you want to make it. Now, the make is the 3D print. Okay, if you have it connected to a 3D printer, then it exports it to a 3D printer. But in this case, we need to get an add-on. So you have to go to add-ins here and click on this bottom button for add-ins. And then you're going to go to Fusion 360 App Store. And you'll see that my browser pops up and I go to this Fusion 360 store. You're going to type in an app that's made by a company called Origins. Okay? Or Origin, I think. And when you type in Origin, there will be a tool that says Shaper Utilities. So this is the one that you want, and you want it for the Mac OS. So you're going to click on that. It's a free download that connects to your laptop. It actually downloads into Fusion. We're going to click on this, and we want to make sure that we get the Mac OS version. So make sure that the Mac OS is highlighted. You look over here, and it will also remind you that this is for the Mac OS. Make sure you double click that, double check it. So you're not printing out, or sorry, not printing, but you're not downloading the Windows version. Okay, so you want this to be the Mac OS version. Okay, so go ahead and click download, and you'll have to log into your credentials for Fusion 360. So use the same login that you have, and then it'll start to download this app at the bottom here. And once it's downloaded, right here, this package, you want to make sure that it loads onto your laptop. Now, you probably have to get like your parent permission to do this. If you have parental control set up, sometimes they may ask for passwords to make sure that this package can be opened, if it's not from a trusted Apple Store thing or whatever it might be. So once this downloads down here, we're going to try to just, hopefully it does it quickly enough. You're going to then open it, and you'll probably have to restart your Fusion 360 for it to actually kick in. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show in Finder here, and we're going to click on it, and we're going to open it up, and let's see how this thing works here. I think I opened it, I'm pretty sure. And we're going to close this, close the downloads, and let's look for my desktop here. It's on my desktop. Here's a Shaper one. Let's click on it one more time. It says, okay, so this is where you're running the problem. So I have to go to my settings, right? I have to go to my Finder and go to settings. Let's go to system preferences here, and I have to go to my security, and you have to do all this stuff where you open anyway kind of a thing. Then you got to put in your password settings. So I'm going to pause the video and do this, and then I'll come back. Yeah, I just added my password in. Pause the video. Now it's recording again, and it tells you to go ahead and go through and agree to these things. Make sure you install it into your computer, have to put my credentials in one more time. I'm going to pause it. After I put in my credentials, it then allows me to say successfully downloaded. So I'm going to go back to Fusion 360 and see if the add-on is in here. So you're just going to check to see. So what I did, let me go back and do that again. I clicked on add-ins, scripts and add-ins, and then I went to add-ins here, and you'll see that there's one that says Shaper Utilities. That's the one we just downloaded. So we're going to run that, and you'll see that that icon changes to run. And so let's see if it works actually without restarting. Now if it doesn't work, if this icon doesn't show up, then you probably have to restart Fusion and see that this thing shows up. If you didn't go in here and actually click on the Shaper tool for the add-ins right here to run, then you're going to have problems. It's not going to show up. So you got to make sure that that happens. So if it doesn't show up here, then your install probably didn't work properly. You have to go back and fix that. I'm going to go ahead and click on the Shaper tool. Yep, and then you'll see here that it says Export to Origin, Selection, and then Advanced. So I'm going to select on this face, go to Selection, and let me see. So yeah, if we go to Advanced Single Body, select, and let's see if I can click on the body. Nope, it's not letting me do it. So I may have to just restart this, right? I'm going to restart it so that it does actually quit Fusion, make sure that my design is saved, and reopen it. Okay, so I'm going to just pause the video again. Sorry, pausing it a lot. Pause one more time just so that it saves time. So I just restarted Fusion, and now I'm going to go find my file. Click on the data panel here, and there it is. Double click and open up my design, and once it loads, you'll be able to find that tool hopefully to allow you to export it as an SVG. So I'm going to close that panel, switch this over to front view, and then remember on the top here you have to click on Tools, and there it is. There's the icon again. I'm going to click on that, select. Yeah, so now it lets me select the actual shape. So here's the part that I want to export. So it's highlighting everything, and that it's going to send this outline to an SVG. So as soon as I just click on it, actually, I don't have to go to Advanced and do anything because it's selecting this body. You don't have to do anything else under that option unless you need to change some specifics under this menu. And it has a full description on how this works. So once you have this body selected, then you press OK. And the cool thing is that it'll export it as an SVG. So I'm going to call this stem sign body. Okay, and save it to my desktop, and there it goes. So I've saved it to my desktop. I'm going to open up my desktop here, and you'll see that file. Let's see, date modified. There it is. So stem sign body is an SVG file now. Okay, so I'm going to actually open this up in the software we have for our laser cutter. So here it is. So Glowforge. And we're going to open up the new design, which is on my desktop. I'm going to go back to find, this is the stem sign. Here it is. So I have a bunch of other files. I got to make sure this is the right one. The stem sign body. I'm going to open it, and let's see how this looks. It might look upside down or backwards, but we can always flip it. So here's my design, it's rendering, and there it is. So you'll see that the file showed up here. You can twist this around, make sure it's right side up, right there. And in this tool, I'm now able to make the adjustments that I need to make this come out as a finished product. I'm going to slide it down to the bottom for the space. And if you look here, this is the actual wood that I have loaded in the laser cutter. This QR code tells my computer that this is basswood. It's this type of plywood. And I'm going to choose that this outer part is going to be cut. Right? So both of these things are going to be cut as a design. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So let me bring this around a little bit, make sure it's straight. Bring this down a little bit, like that. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this to show you guys in class what this might look like. So press print. It's going to prepare the print, and once it's ready to go, you might hear the printer whirring in the background. It should be a quick print, quick laser cut, I should say. It's a printer process, but it's laser cutting this. So once this is ready to go, you'll see that it'll take maybe seconds to print out. This one's a pretty fast one. Just calculating all the geometry and all the letters and stuff. So 2 minutes actually. I lied. So it's a little bit more than a few seconds. But I'm going to go ahead and print this, and I'll show it to you guys in class. Take care.